very well.
Yeah.
But they need the rest, you know. They need the rest to be essentially land-proof at this point in time.
Everybody on NIP was hitting shots in that last map. We need mousesports to be doing the same here if they want to have a chance at staying alive in this tournament, because now it's all or nothing. It's all sorted for them on this one map. They need it desperately to go to the third map and get that win. So let's see what we have in store for us here. We're going to be getting into the first pistol of this map. And already, Spitty, he's going for the utility. He's got the kit and flashes. Let's see if they go for the raid boss strat. And they don't actually go for the raid boss strat this time around in IP. They've been pretty consistent with giving GetRight that Tech 9 and Kevlar and letting him just go to work. But this time around, Threat, he's prioritizing flashes and smoke.
Yeah, and we were pointing out sometimes you can tell a lot, and we call it a bit on Cobblestone. Sometimes one smoke's all you need. Threat has already put it up, and I really need to know where that went. Looks like it's just...
Oh. He's used it to block off the main entrance.
Yeah, so that, I mean, Guerrero is very good at doing this walk-in on B-bomb side Cobblestone. See if they could do something similar here. He's in checkered, so no one can roll through to the vents, but that's a brilliant shot coming out of Chris. Gonna be killing Freiburg very early on, and they have control of checkered, and they got the bomb planted for checkered as well, and mousesports don't have a smoke, so they can't defuse in the smoke. It's actually gonna be a very, very tough retake here. Dennis looking for a shot. Nico gonna say, oh, Dennis, what a kill on GetRight. He never saw it coming. Threat trapped in the corner. Mousesports, what a brilliant round. Nobody dies. NIP, it looked like they had just everything wrapped around that bomb site, like they had it on full lockdown. Not a chance here.
You see, Anders, mousesports, they were getting your hopes up. They were allowing NIP to feel hope, only for the fall to be that much higher, that much harder.
Well, look, so everyone made their predictions. I don't think you made one either, or did you call NIP from the beginning?
I think NIP are going to win this, yeah.
Right, so because I was going to go against the tide and say that I think mousesports could take this. Obviously, I was really scared. I was scared to say that now after watching Cobblestone. But before Cobblestone got started, I'm going to be honest, that was going to be my call for it. Just because I want to live in a world where mousesports don't have all their games be carried by Nico, you know? Speedy showed up. I really think if Nico can get support from two other players, it can't be just one. I think we're at the stage, especially when NIP are playing this well, it has to be Nico and two others. Yeah. They don't have to play Nico's level or anything, because, let's be real, they can't, but they have to be up there. 3 UMPs though, so I know that makes you happy.
Yeah, get that dirty ump money. You're going to get those SMGs. It's the best SMG right now as far as the pros are concerned, that and the MP7. Yeah. We're seeing some MP9 action as well these days. Flusha, he actually claims to have started that off with Shox, because apparently he wrecked Shox with an MP9 in a scrim, and ever since Shox has been using the MP9. So a little tidbit of information there as far as, you know, how things are developing. But that UMP, it's really solid because it's accurate at long range, and it does the most damage. It does as much damage as a FAMAS pretty much versus armor, which is crazy when you think it's only a $1,200 investment. So now we have to see if they're actually going to be able to pull this off here. NIP not going to go for any big buys, considering they got the bomb plan in the last round. Ooh. So now it's all about getting onto this B side, it seems, for NIP. That bomb is going to be making its way through B halls. GetRight, once again, taking point.
Speedy going to end up going down for us with a shot, and Chris, he's going to drop Nico coming into it with a triple kill. And UMP actually coming into work. That looked like they were about to lose that round. And I've got to say, even though Chris got a kill on the back lines, that made me angry to look at how he was playing that position. He was out in the open, he hears the vents pop, and he doesn't sort of just like, in that position, I feel like you either have to take the fight, or at least you have to sort of get quick back to where you were. But Chris looked like he was sort of meandering around the bomb site. Should I go back to cover, or should I stay out in the open and just wait? Like, come on, Chris.
Make up your mind.
Yeah, that was upsetting to watch, so no more of that, please. Third round is coming up here in NIP. They do have rifles already due to the earlier bomb plant in the first round.
But he got the info there, GetRight. He saw one player was in link, and he's going to get Dennis out. Not going to get the second kill, though. Nico point blank will shut him down, and now that means that Nico can swap over. He can get an AK or an M4. That's pretty solid. Forrest is, however, going to be able to step in, take out next, and he nearly gets the wallbang kill onto Nico. This is just so back and forth right now. Crazy close match. And crazy close round. What an opening from GetRight. He gets the info and the initial kill. That puts a lot of pressure on mousesports to shut him down.
Nico, look at how hard it is for him to find a position right now. He's got very little health, so he's in the wrong spot. He's going to get killed straight away. He's going to try to pop flash his way through and instantly get shot down. You could tell he felt under a lot of pressure to make a play for his team there, and maybe ended up sort of giving his life away a bit. Now, Speedy was very good in the first map. He's going to have to be huge. He needs at least 2 kills and to stay alive. This is almost too much to handle. Chris is there on the crossfire. Speedy can get the first kill. That drops the bomb. 45 seconds left on the clock here, and you can tell Chris wants to make his way through. Speedy getting a second second kill. mousesports, they're really putting a lot of pressure on NIP here in the last 35 seconds. The bomb is inside the bomb site, so NIP can't even rotate out. Otherwise, I bet you they would have by now, but they have to sort of commit to this, and Chris has only got the scout, so can't easily get the cross kills either, and Speedy gonna go down. Just a little bit of overexposure, and Exist to close the round with a double kill and make it 2-1. So, I mean, it looked like NIP should have been winning this round even more, but at least they were put to the test.
Freiburg actually won that round almost. He's the one who takes the fight with Speedy. He's the one who soaks the damage. Exist gets the kill on the flank, as you guys can see. Well, not just going to be a second there. Yeah, there we go. You know, so Exist manages to get that kill, and he gets tagged by Chris. So if Exist takes the fight with Chris, we're in a 1v1 scenario. But the fact that he actually manages to stay alive, has the HP, takes the fight with Chris, manages to remove him from the map. Huge round coming in for NIP in their first buy, and that's going to allow them to really start picking things up here for themselves. They've got the 4 AKs, they've got great nades, and it's mousesports who decide to go for the full all-out force. Wow. We're getting a brawl here, Anders. This is it. Nobody wants to give up that early edge, to give up the rounds here at the beginning of the half.
And they're putting 1 middle, 3 A, and they're actually pushing aggressively a threat here in the corner. He hasn't killed anyone yet, and it might be a little tricky here as well. That Mac 10 close range, the 5.7s just look more powerful actually. One-shot headshot of that range, and they left Speedy alone at B, right? That's also a pretty big responsibility, but it's been working out so far. This is an extremely aggressive buy coming out of mousesports. They're risking a lot of the first half on doing this buy, but if it works, you could also bet that they will have put Nip in their place just a little bit.
Yeah, Nip. It all comes down to whether they get the bomb plant, if they're going to be in a decent spot to actually force. Look at this from Nico. He's been so lethal with this UMP. He's going to go for the close range angle here and Exist. He's trying to find just a little bit of a spot. Yeah, he has a gap to look through here at the smoke as it meets the stairs, but Nico, he's playing it safe. He's just going to try to back off, but Get Right's not going to allow him. Perfect timing there for Get Right to come around the corner. He rips Nico's head off, and now it's all going to come down to this push onto the A side. All of Nip about to converge, and mousesports, they need to start rotating. Chris, he's hauling ass through CT. Spinny's at car, and now everybody from mousesports are here to greet them.
Good little burst there coming out of Forest, just enough to kill on next. Now they're all showing up, and Dennis going to get the 1 kill, but Get Right cleaning up the top. Going for Freiburg here. Dennis with the 2nd kill, and now it is a 1v1. Get Right going to make his jump up onto the box, looking for the shot here, and it's a headshot to follow it up. That's a quad kill for Get Right to save the round for NIP and shut mousesports down. Now they're going to have to eco here, and well, NIP, they're going to be off to a very good start here.
And we're seeing the same from Get Right as well. He had a very strong start on Cobblestone, and this time around a quad kill for him in a key round that really just, well, that would have actually set Nip up to get an easier round, right? To put mousesports on a force, or on an eco rather. But look at this, it's another force from mousesports. They just want to go toe-to-toe here with NIP. They realized it was that close. It was, I mean, a 1v1 clutch means that Nip have to spend all of their money to get re-equipped in this round. That's what's going through mousesports' head right now. They're saying, if we can break them here, we're the ones with the economic advantage, and then it's NIP who are in an awkward force buy scenario.
Yeah, but that logic doesn't work like this.
Just wishing he could wallbang there.
I just can't even. This is... I mean, it's definitely partially true, but it's more than that. It's a mad idea. When you're down a map in an elimination like this is just too much of a risk to take, I think.
I need to calm down here. Get Right. What a nade. Just banks it off the wall, dunks it onto Chris. That was huge because they didn't want to challenge into that deagle. That was well played by NIP, using the nade to get the kill onto Chris instead of charging in there and, running into the ambush, basically. But now, NIP, they're the ones with the edge, and Nico, once again, feeling like he has to make the play. He's going to just lurk his way through into A-main. He gets a kill onto Threat. The Force is there to get the refrag. And, I mean, Nip, if they lose Threat and trade with him round after round, they're going to be perfectly fine with that. I mean, sure, it sucks for Threat a little bit, but the rest of the team are going to be like, that's fine. We accept this. Now let's go ahead and actually just execute.
Well, Nex and Dennis are at the right bomb site. Speedy's rotating as well. They've got a really good read right now. mousesports, they just don't have the weaponry to deal with this, and that's the problem with this continuous force-up idea. Freiburg is going to get the Molotov kill, and then they just clean it up. They only lose Threat. I mean, alright, so there's only one team in history that's really sort of reliably been able to get away with this, and that was Envy when they were sort of in their prime, right? They're very good at doing this, but even they would prefer to try and play this way when they're on the terrorist side. And that's because it makes so much more sense to do it on the terrorist side. When you're on the CT side, I mean, Okay, let's put it to you this way. If it made sense for them to do in the last round, why doesn't it make sense for them to do in this round? Like, if you sell this logic to yourself, you might as well keep doing it at that point, because, I mean, what if you got to lose right now? It's not like, and if you have a bit more of an economy, but it's still just so sketchy. I think I kind of enjoyed them doing it in the in the fourth round. I feel like now it's too much.
Really appreciate what Nip are doing in this round now. They haven't really gone for the boost up to mid. And now they're really, now they've got the mid control. They've used a Molotov to clear out sandbags. All they have to do is wait and see where mousesports are going to be waiting for them. I mean, they already have a man in Link. There's going to be 2 of them there pretty soon. That's Spitty and Nex just waiting, but the smoke goes down. And so now mousesports, they're a little in the dark as to what NIP are doing. And in the meantime, Get Right, he's managed to work his way all the way out onto that B site. He's through into checking, and you guys can see he's shoulder peeking his way in there, trying to see if he can spot anybody out from mousesports. And pretty soon here, NIP are going to realize, wait, there's actually nobody here. They tried to stack A on us, boys. So this is it. Should be a free round for NIP.
Yeah, and the Swedish team also not afraid to use Molotovs and grenades to clear out the bomb site, even if they could probably guess that they were going to be up against just pistol and no armor here. It's still very good that they're actually using the money to just play it really safe, right? And they clear out the round no problem. It is fun, isn't it, to see Get Right being so aggressive with the entry. I mean, he's playing with the SMG this time around, but he's doing it on cobblestone as well. It is a break from his style of otherwise being the lurker.
Yep.
If you go back and you watch Counter-Strike if you find demos or videos, whatever, from 2013, all the way into the middle of 2014, you see Get Right just being, so the whole team plays somewhere else, and Get Right's alone. And even if it's this is sort of the core of it, even if he's alone in a 1v2 or 3, then he turns up, cleans up everything, and that's how Nip win rounds, you know.
It's similar to what we see from mousesports these days, with how Nico lurks and then the rest of his team are on the other side of the map. I mean, that's old Nip style, basically. So we're seeing that real evolution in Nip's play. Get Right, he's willing to take point, and again, he's the one leading the charge here with that UMP. He wants to put that pressure into Checkered, and he's going to be able to clear it out once again. But this time around, things are different. Chris J, he's got that op waiting for them on the B site, and he's got Speedy there to back him. So the defense is going to be set for mousesports. NIP now, if they try to push out onto this site, it's going to get nasty for him.
Oh, wow, look at this as well. As Freiburg boosts him up, they actually swap so that Get Right has more of a chance, because that's not an angle you'd be expecting if you were holding the headshot box here in the middle. So if he has the AK, he has to be able to one-shot someone and not sort of long spray down with a UMP. So that's such a quick adaptation from NIP just to sort of improvise that. And Get Right, I'm expecting maybe there could be someone hiding by sandbag still.
This is so scary for mousesports, though. Look at how they're set up on this map right now. They're so passive. They have no info as to what is actually coming at them. They've just decided, you know what, we're going to sit on these bomb sites, we're going to allow you to execute, and we're just going to cross our fingers and hope that when the time comes, we're going to hit the shots. But Nico, he's already down to 34 HP, and he's about to get overrun because the push is coming into the A site now for NIP, and Dennis is going to be the one to have the impact to start things off here for the CT side.
Well, Nico, we're going to be shutting down Exist.
Next, come on.
Yeah, that's not a time to kill a teammate, and maybe especially not if it's Nico, but I think maybe there was some confusion about the forklift then. Get Right is miles away, and I'm confused about why he's rotating in like this. I thought maybe he would sort of stay in highway or even rotating in CT spawn, just try and catch them from coming up from behind, but now he's in main instead. The bomb is part of default. So again, Freiburg and Threat picking up a kill each. Next going to be going down to Threat. Picks up a triple kill in total in the round. And that was the big buy round for mousesports here. We're now looking at a 5-2 scoreline. And mousesports, I don't know. You're absolutely right. I think you're dead on there with how passive they were playing. That gives up so much map control for NIP.
It's so, oh man. I mean, what can you do with your Nex, really? You see somebody moving on the shadows there. Maybe he wasn't exactly aware of where Nico had snuck into. You know, it's just when you're wired this tight, you react, and you can't really do it. Sometimes it just happens that way. So a really tough break there for mousesports, because if Nico's alive, then things can be completely different having that man advantage.
Yeah, and a good little point by our observer there that sort of 3 out of 5 rounds, NIP have only survived with 1 or 2 members, and the other 2 they've been doing well, but it definitely makes a difference. Nico with a nice opening Deagle headshot to take down Exist. That's what we need, and we need a lot more of it right now from mousesports.
Yeah, Nico demonstrating that the Deagle, you know, the shoulder peek with the Deagle, he's just so good at it if you get that timing down. Well, this is going to be the full buy for NIP. They're down a man. This is a quasi-buy coming in here from mousesports. And as you guys can see, Freiburg, he's actually going to be the one to catch out Spitty. But mousesports, this time around, they decided, I want to see them do this when they have rifles. They decide in this quasi-buy to put up a bit of a stiff defense over in mid, right? They put 4 players there initially, waiting to see if Nip were going to go for this kind of boost play, try and take over mid the way that they've been doing with Get Right. but instead they're going to do it on a round where they actually have pistols, not the best firepower. So Nip still have a huge edge in this.
Molotov, the sandbags, and to vent, which is a little bit of a shame. That's what Chris was holding. Would have been nice if he could have got a kill there. Chris in the... Oh, so you're going to get the one frag in. Trying to see if he could maybe do a bit more, but Get Right will shut him down. And now the bomb site is lost. Threat already planning for Checkered, and because Freiburg is here, unless he goes down, it's going to be such a tough retake here for mousesports.
The flash in, though, that's going to give them some space, but Freiburg is taking a very passive position exactly over here in Toxic, and now Threat, they know exactly where mousesports are coming from. Once this Molotov clears up Threat, he should have the line on them, and it's perfect, although Nico is going to be able to trade 1-for-1, and he should have the info as to where Freiburg's playing from, so it's not as clear-cut now that Threat... Excuse me, now that Threat has been taken out. Smoke goes down as well. Maximum pressure here on Freiburg now to come through in the 1v1 clutch. As the bomb takes down, it's all about Freiburg staying alive. Another fake fuse comes out here from Nico, but it's just not going to be enough. He just doesn't have time for this. And Freiburg, nail in the coffin, gets the headshot in the end. And this has got to be so fantastic for Threat. I mean...
This is a good triple kill, but I mean, it's also just Nico not even having a defuse kit, so that, you know, it would have been so hard for him to do it either way. I mean, he would have almost had to have stuck it as soon as the smoke goes up and just sort of pray that would have worked out. 6-2, and a double AWP being picked up here by mousesports. So they are trying to change their game up, and I do want to just say, this really looks like an NIP that is miles a bit ahead of mousesports right now. I do want to say, we have seen a number of times teams finish 10-5 on this first half of Crash on the T side, and still come back and have a hard time on the CT side. So I don't want to sort of get too carried away, but NIP looking very good at the moment. Get Right Forest with 2 opening frags, only 1 being traded.
That Forest kill right there was key, because again, mousesports, they did it right. They actually put up, you know, a defense in mid. They had 3 players there to start. Get Right, he went again for that play that he's doing more and more often these days, which is, you know, to flash his way out garage, get up under vents very quickly. This time mousesports were prepared for him. Bit surprising to see Chris J miss that shot.
How does that even work?
But, I mean, yeah, mousesports, they are making adjustments to their strats. It's just that right there, that was individual play. That was Forrest just stepping up and hitting a crazy shot.
Oh, if only Forrest had a grenade, he could shut down Chris immediately. He could just flash through the windows and there'd be almost no way for him to see it coming, but he definitely doesn't. Chris gonna be defending in Toxic here, while Forrest is on the B bomb site and sort of he's got that covered at least. But
this is all up on Threat now. This is all on Threat now to figure this out. And unfortunately for him, he's about to walk into Nico, and no, Nico turns away! Oh, the timing couldn't be worse.
Speedy also has got his back turned. There it is. Nico going to be shot on the back of the head. Speedy picking up 1, though this could still work out. 30 seconds left. Are they going to actually rotate back to 8? They could still run there if they have the time. Well, they have the time for it. Speedy going to be flashing his way through once. He can't catch Threat either. This is a mad round. 2 on 2, and they're just running away from each other. NIP finally figuring out what's going on, and they're going to go for the plant. On the corner there, not my favorite plant position. Chris is coming in from main as well. Speedy, they've got them locked in right now. He has to hit the shot, and he's going to get it. Shutting down Exist, and now it's all on Threat. 1 on 2 here. Sees the gun barrel, puts a couple of shots in, but Chris picking up the double. He missed his first opportunity, but he makes up for it. And that's going to be mousesports winning a round.
There's so much going on there as well. That's some experience. That's an offer. That's Chris J really stepping up, because he doesn't get shoulder peeked. I mean, he doesn't fall for the bait. Threat goes for the intentional shoulder peek, trying to bait out the shot. And Chris J, you know, that's when you have ice water in your veins. That's when you're just like, nope, I see you coming from a mile away. He holds the shot until it's guaranteed and takes out Threat. Maybe, you know, and also this is some nerves coming in from NIP. They were both watching the same angle. They were both watching towards CT, so they were expecting mousesports to go for the predictable play, which is, you know, rotate hard through CT and try and catch them that way. Having both players watching, though, that just broke it down. So Nip, they need to calm down again and find their center. Make sure that they're keeping that communication clear and making sure that they know exactly which angle. I mean, elementary stuff. Which angle are you watching in the afterplant?
Well, a bit of a set execute, very common one here to sort of see if they can zone out the A-bomb site. Nico putting up a Molotov to try and see if he could stop them, and he's got the UMP close range again. They are making their way through Threat already on the bomb site. Nico picking up 1 and 2, shutting down the bomb as well in main. What a brilliant play and assist. Oh no. Threat running right into that Molotov, and now Get Right in the middle. He's going to be knocked out by Chris AWP, and Forrest to get shut down by Nix. Great round here for mousesports. And again, I mean, Nico, very, very sort of proactive play coming out. Not just the Molotov, but actually running through the smoke, catching them as they're trying to set up.
So many footsteps, like there's so many footsteps at that point going on. You know, Nip, they're hearing their teammates run in, and so Nico just going in behind the flash. Nip, they just have no way of knowing that this is happening until he's already on top of them with that UMP, just running them down.
Literally running them down as
Literally,
well.
exactly. So I mean, 4-6 now. mousesports, they're starting to run it back, and I mean, now it's NIP. They're just scraping the bottom of the barrel as far as the money is concerned. Again, they find themselves on 4 rifles, a single Tech 9 picked up on threat, and it's good that he's the one taking the hit because he really hasn't had, you know, the huge impacts. He's kind of been donating himself. Be careful though, Nico, with that angle through the wall bang. He can definitely take threat out if he gets it on, but it's just going to be a very default kind of setup across the board. Nex is alone in mid for mousesports this time around, waiting to see if GetRight's going to flash his way through. But instead, GetRight is actually taking a position over here in Toxic, and he's just waiting to see if Chris J is going to let him out. And that is going to happen because those smokes go down to block to get that split on mid. This usually indicates a B split, which is why Chris J falls back from that position, and they're just, you know, falling back onto the sites now. mousesports are like, okay, we've lost control of mid. Just get onto the sites now and just hope, pray that we can actually shut down Nip when they come through.
This is a huge impact round in the first half because if they win this mousesports, they will have forced the NIP to eco, and that means finally they can get some breathing room. I think they just need the space to relax and calm down. Here next, lining up Forrest and Freiburg, and they go down. Dennis with a kill on threat. That's a huge frag, and now it's going to be a 2-on-3. mousesports in the lead. They desperately need this. Exist going to be sneaking around the corner. Speedy jumping in a little bit careless. You're going to be careful. And Exist missing the opportunity. Now they're going to try and double up on him. Chris to follow up. Only shows his foot there, but it's enough to get the kill. And now GetRight in a 1-on-2. And this is what he's very good at. He's only got 25 seconds here to try and make this work. He's walking into the middle. That's enough time to get the B. You could definitely do that. It's about, 15 seconds to run from highway into B, so he could definitely still make it, but gotta be careful. And Chris to shut him down, and that's 5-6. mousesports almost equalizing. NIP, no bomb plant, and not enough money to make the buy happen here.
Yeah, now mousesports are starting to feel the game. Now they're starting to get it going. And that was a sick play from mousesports. They realized, wait a second, okay, because GetRight had put a smoke up to block the main entrance to the B side as well, so he was just trying to sell it as hard as possible that, hey, you've seen this before, mousesports. Last time you saw this, we got into checkered and we started pressuring onto the site. That's when Speedy, held up on the B side in the last time. And so they're trying to play on what mousesports have learned so far in this half. The only issue is that mousesports are like, okay, smoke goes up, now we need to push for info on the A site and figure out what's going on, and it works out perfectly with Nex getting that double spray down in A main. So both of these teams right now, they're firing on all cylinders, Anders. They're all hitting their shots and they're all, making the correct plays. And well, this is one way to change things up. Straight YOLO rush onto the B site, but so far the defense holds.
Well, that's a very, very good job on Speedy there. Triple kill for him. I actually think mousesports were in a very dumb position in this round. It has to be like anyone who's ever played Cash, I think almost on any level, the default, one of the defaults, one of the very popular defaults if you're out of money is to Tech 9 rush the B bomb side, because all you need to do is catch someone. If they have an AWP, if Chris is out there lurking on the first corner, if he misses the first shot and he's just a little bit slow, he can't even make it back around the boxes. You're going to be on the next corner before he can make it back. You can catch them off, and instead, again, mousesports just sort of standing around a bit. Like they were in some really weird positions there. If they lose the entry, Nip in the bomb side, they get 2 rifles, they get the bomb down, and they can win the round immediately. They should have seen that coming. Why not throw down an early Molotov? Make sure that they can't get rushed down.
This is nasty. Forrest has been boosted up into mid. Quick mid aggression again here from NIP, but mousesports, they choose to change things up. They go super aggressive through Squeak, and now they just continue to push. Dennis not showing any fear whatsoever, and he's got Nex to back him up as well, and they just want to just completely rock NIP at this point, put a maximum amount of pressure on him, and somehow Exist. He's not even worried about Squeak. Not sure about that play there from Exist. Maybe some miscommunication as to how close mousesports were. Well, you have to realize there is a threat, right? You can't just sit there and expect mousesports to back off.
There is a threat, literally, but no, but that can't have been miscommunication. The threat must have called out the one pushed up, but yeah. Maybe they were just thinking, well, once they've been spotted, surely they're not going to continue on that push, right?
Exactly.
And that's what they did. So 6-6. The scoreline is tied here on the second map. We are just nearing the end of it as Chris is going to be taking down Freiburg. A great shot coming through, and Forrest also revealing himself here in checker. That's a big indication to mousesports that there may be a sort of a B push unfolding here. And they've rotated 3 people now towards the B-bomb side. That's a heavy defense.
This should be more than enough as well. And they even play it smart. They keep Dennis up on that A site. They have not spotted the bomb yet. Forrest is going to be able to clear out the defense. That's Chris J down on the B side, so the bomb can start rotating over. Forrest, he's just doing work right now. Nico dead, and Speedy only just now getting into CT to rotate in. Dennis and Nex on their way over from the A site. And Get Right, he should be hearing the steps, but that's not even necessary. Somehow Threat takes out Speedy. And how did Nip? They have 9 seconds left, and they've completely turned this situation around.
This is a crushing round for mousesports. They had this in the bag. Now Nex is going to try and see if he could clutch it for them. Threat around there, just 1 point away. Get Right doesn't have a lot of health either. There's a jumping shot with the M4A1, and now Get Right. He's sneaking up from behind. Nex has no idea. It's currently a double kill. He's got the health advantage though. He's going to try and hold it down once again. He can see Get Right coming through right here on the angle. 2 seconds. Once again, Get Right with the instant headshot. And NIP, they're going to steal the round away. Here's what crushed this round for mousesports. Get Right showing himself on highway, that instantly made them think, wait a minute, they might actually not be coming B. So they start rotating people back, and then obviously Forrest picking up a double kill to entry. But if there had been more people there, that's the first sort of thing that goes wrong. The next thing that goes wrong is Speedy. When he's up on that box, this exact kill. Threat has the bomb, and he's on 11 health when he's running in. If Speedy just kills him, there's only 13 seconds at that point in time. If he kills Threat, then suddenly NIP are in a lot of trouble. Because if they take up the bomb and just run in and try and plant, then Speedy can just follow up and kill whoever's planting. Speedy not getting the kill on Threat there is obviously massive, and oh, that's a shame.
Nice try. But Forrest was close enough to hear that, and now you can see he's already trying to check up there. He's like, okay, if you guys are boosting, I'm going to be ready for that. So a bit of information picked up there for NIP that could be crucial going into the rest of this. 2 rounds left in this first half, and NIP, they pull back into the lead with 7 rounds on the board, 6 for mousesports. And at this point, NIP, they're probably playing off that information. They're like, wait, well, okay, if there's somebody boosted, well, then we can take advantage of that. We know where one of their players is 100%. Only problem is Nico actually missed the jump. So Forrest has got to be wondering right now. He's like, okay, what, did he make it? Did he not? Is this something we can play off of? Is this something that we can abuse?
Yeah, little known fact, you can self-boost up there if you know what you're doing.
True.
Next, going to be picking up the first shot there, taking out Existent. Dennis to follow up, and mousesports, I'm glad that they're showing some resilience here. Even though that was a horrible round for them to lose, they're not sort of mentally out of it, you can tell. And Next with a really good double kill. The Threat now going to be all on his own here. Not sure there's much of an impact he can have in the round. Even getting a couple of kills wouldn't help much here, because we're going into the 15th round, the last of the half, and the 7-7 scoreline. Considering how this started out, with mousesports winning the first 2, then losing 6 rounds in a row, I actually think they should be quite pleased with themselves right now, and NIP really won't have much. Now, the one thing, Semler, here is if they don't, I don't even care if NIP rush B or not. If mousesports don't prepare for it, I'm going to be officially angry and disappointed, Semler. Upset to the core. I'm watching them right now.
I'm sure you are, because Chris and Speedy are heading over there. Nex is in mid. They would have been in the spot. They would have been ready for it had they come through. So, you know, mousesports trying to cover all the angles. And then they go for the flash into A main. Speedy is going to find the kill, and that's actually Get Right removed from vents. But the flash into A main as well is giving mousesports a lot of information. As you guys can see, Nex is now rotating into mid to make sure that Link is not exposed, that they can't get flanked in from there. And it's all on Speedy and Chris J now to hold off this push coming onto the B site. And they're already in position as well. There should be an easy shot here for Chris as they come across. Yes, nice. Tags down Forrest. Speedy's still alive on the side. He's doing the best that he can to stay alive. And Nex is there to back up Chris J. So there's just no hope for Freiburg trying to charge down that off. It's all falling into place here for mousesports. And it's a perfect round, a flawless round to close the half. So very well done there by the defense. Yeah,
and you're right. They did prepare for it. Here's how they did it. So Chris is exactly in the position where if it was a B rush, he's going to have a really hard time getting back from that. It's very hard to make it around the corner back again. But because they obviously had the backup and Speedy being there, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. If Chris takes a shot, kills one guy, then they think, well, we'll rush him down now, and then Speedy's there to follow up. So that's definitely a defense that's designed to deal with that kind of a potential B push. It didn't really happen, but I'm glad that they were at least thinking about it, because I can't deal with people losing to rounds like that.
They went for the catch all right, because they also flashed into A main. They had the man in mid as well to watch and see. You know, Get Right got picked off. They figured out that Get Right went into vents very quickly. They removed him from the map, and then at the same time, simultaneously, mousesports are pushing into A main. So mousesports is just like, we're actually just going to come and get you. We're ready on B side. But you know, if you're over here setting up on A, we're going to come say hello with our M4s, because we know your money's wrecked right now. So we're really seeing mousesports come alive. It's a totally different beast from what we saw in Cobblestone. They haven't been really caught, you know, blindsided by anything NIP have done in this. You know, there wasn't anything super clever that we've seen from Threat and the bunch.
In fact, it's even worse than that. It's even worse than that. They weren't blindsided by anything. They were shooting themselves in the foot by forcing up those rounds early on. That NIP had 6 out of the 7 rounds they got in one streak due to 2 force buys in a row that didn't really make a lot of sense. I sort of thought the first one was sort of a little bit creative. I was like, all right, you know, maybe they are going to catch them off guard here. It'll be interesting, right? Then they do it again, and I slightly lost my mind at that point in time.
Can't take it away from Forrest as well with his huge clutch round. I mean, well, clutch round basically, the one where they should just be down and out. Nip, no way for them to actually win it, but Forrest just goes ham, unlocks it all on that B site. So now going into the second half, this is where it's going to get fairly tricky because, you know, are we going to be... Threat's only got the 6 kills. Exist has been very quiet as well in this first half. And you know, these guys are going to have to step up in the individual level to have an impact on that CT side.
And as our panelists were pointing out, you know, Threat could very well be the weak link here.
Exactly.
You're playing the CT side.
Find out where he plays. If he's playing mid again...
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be an issue.
That it will be an issue. I mean, if they as soon as they realize that, they can maybe just continue to sort of fight him there.
Take mid control. Force other players to come in and actually, you know, take up some of the slack. Now this is going to be it, guys. We're getting into the second pistol round now. Second half. And we have to see if they're actually going to be able to pull this off because, you know, Nip won both pistols on Cobblestone. Now if mousesports could pick up both pistols, they're going to be perfectly set to take this map and take it to map 3.
Speedy with that Molotov makes me wonder, but look at Get Right Sneaky. They've actually got a huge boost going on in the middle, and Get Right, he might be about to hit jackpot here, but no, they're ready. Oh! He takes out Chris anyway after getting tagged in the face. That is such a dirty shot. That should have never happened.
That's huge. And that's really going to rock mousesports now. They're like, okay, well, they figured out our strat, boys, so what's plan B? And by the way, we're down a man, so we have to come up with something clever here.
I mean, you're probably not going to be expecting Get Right to do that, but they were. So when you're expecting it and you still can't sort of stop it from happening, that's really more frustrating. Obviously, mousesports still have a good chance to make an impact here.
Exists, though, his position right now. He's in a bit of a one-and-done spot. Threat gets caught out in Link. That's not going to help. Forrest is still alive, but Exist, if Forrest actually success, yes, Forrest, he baits them in, and now mousesports think that the defense is stuck on this B site. Exist, he's just trying to take the shots, but these are the shots that you have to hit. These are often the hardest. He finally picks up 1, but he could have had 2 possibly. Forrest, though, going to go ahead and step up, and Forrest just annihilates them. They try and push in, and he gets 3 clean kills, and NIP, well, it goes both ways, Anders. Both CT sides have picked up the pistol so far on this map.
Yeah, you know, Exist, we got the camera on him here. If that had cost him the round, which could have, you gotta wonder. But really good job there, and you're right to say as well, the information just for them to know what was coming is definitely powerful.
4 shots, 3 kills. Not bad, Forrest.
But that's gonna tie the scoreline at 8-8 here. And mousesports without a bomb plant are going to go for the buy-in. Speedy, in fact, with the scout, so not Chris. That's interesting.
Yeah, Threat, not a big fan of how he's peeking mid there. Just jumping straight up and down. Easy shot when you've got reaction times like these players. They can hit those shots all day. And he's already been tagged down to 66. But now Get Right is rotated off the A side here to support, and they are actually, you know, they're willing to take the fight just because they have the rifles. And, well, mousesports obviously stuck on pistols with this force buy. Speedy does have the scout, and he's going to be hunting, looking for the punish here. But NIP, now that they've spotted out the movement in mid, they decided to actually relinquish control of it, give it up to mousesports, and focus on defending the sites. Although, Get Right, he's in a bit of a scary spot, because if they're close link, he can get wrecked. But Get Right instead is actually going to find that fight and win it. Dennis is down.
You could see Speedy was really looking for that headshot, right? He was double scoping everything to try and make sure that was going to work out. And doesn't quite. Not a lot of mid-control here for NIP, which in a round like this, it might not have a big impact because mousesports don't have the grenades to execute anything from that kind of map control. But later on in the half, assuming it gets to that, then you've got to be careful with NIP by relinquishing that much control. Inside the box, Freiburg and Forrest are in a good position, but that's a very good eagle shot coming out. That's going to take him out in return. If he could have got both those kills, that would have been epic, but not quite going to be working out. And Freiburg having a grand old time with this SMG, but actually Chris with some really good peeks there. Could be close enough to maybe find the second kill. Getting shot in the back by Get Right, though. Triple kill for him, and 9-8 scoreline now favoring NIP. Forrest at 15, Get Right at 14, Freiburg at 13. That's a good sort of sequence going on at the top there. But top fragging in this game is Nico at 17 kills. Is anyone even surprised, Samler?
No. Nico, I mean, team is built around him, and he just keeps delivering. He's so consistent for mousesports. Hardly ever misses a shot. I mean, it's just like in those sorts of situations where you kind of just have to like grit your teeth. You know, it's that clench moment where Nico gets closer and closer and closer and closer, and then it's just like boom, headshot. You just like, you know, it's inevitable. This guy with the deagle, he almost always finds a kill. It's crazy how consistent he is with the gun.
I was reading an article last night about how Chinese scientists have been working on human cloning, and I feel like you know, maybe a petition to get Nico to be one of the first people, maybe. Just build a whole team of Nico. So every member of the team is him.
I would still prioritize Olaf, but, you know, Nico, fair enough.
It could be interesting to make them play a 5-on-5. Exist, get right with some opening frags here. Not too exciting, really, since mousesports don't really have any kind of weaponry or any kind of armor to fight back with. So did he lose Exist and get right, getting to pad his stats a little bit here. It will be a 10-8 scoreline now. NIP the lead with 2 rounds, and on mousesports they're gonna have trying to have the rifles here. And I really want to see. I want to see them pull out, you know, something from the depths here, something they've planned for this map to pull them through onto a third map. This is not the final chance they'll have, but we're getting close now. They're slowly but surely heading out of the tournament.
And there we go. I was wondering what the big spend was for this round. It's going to be Exist going for the Scar 20. That's a way to change things up. He's actually playing it in mid as well to start. So if mousesports had tried to go for quick mid control, they'd have run right into the auto sniper. That would have been brutal. But instead, mousesports, they've just slowed it down. They're playing very passive default, actually. Chris J, waiting to see if there's going to be anybody going for the counter boost. Nico, he's waiting to see if there's going to be a push on the extremities. Right now, mousesports are trying to cover all their bases.
Well, look at this. I mean, we were saying, oh, Nip got to be careful about mid control. They put 3 people there, including an auto sniper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even excessive, because the only one who's really stuck in middle is Threat, because he's in that corner. But Freiburg is just as much on B as he is in middle, and Exist can pretty much easily rotate wherever he wants. So, I mean, the only fear in a push, like in a round like this, is if there's suddenly like a huge execute on the A-bomb side. That's the one thing that could go wrong.
Did Dennis see the angle of that nade coming in? I think he just might have caught it. Oh. But he could tell probably that somebody's... Yeah, Chris J's, he's in the prime spot right now. If Freiburg decides to show himself, he's going to be in for a bit of a rough surprise. But this is information now. mousesports, they know that somebody was holding close left, and Chris, he gives up the angle. If he dies to Freiburg, we might need to get him a new mouse, because he's probably going to try and smash it through the table.
Oh, if he scopes, this is the problem. Freiburg and the flashbang comes in. Wow, alright. Chris not even being given a chance to fight back then. Dennis trying to see if he can at least get the refrag, and he's going to be successful sitting in the fire, and not much he could have done. Threat will get the refrag, and now it's a 4-on-3 here. If they can smoke off Exist with that auto sniper, the problem is if you put up the smoke, is it really going to be working? The smoke does come in, but it's not even a perfect one. It actually leaves a huge gap here for Exist to exploit, and Forrest on the bomb side as well. Nico trying to get Costa's next going down. Nice shot from Nico. Exist is gone. So Nico and Speedy all alone. 3 seconds left. He's going to go going down. Forrest to pick up the double, and that will be 11-8.
Wow, and Forrest voluntarily throws away the op to pick up that Scar 20. So they really are making this a core strat here. They want Exist to keep having the sniper. And I mean, well, I guess if Forrest is just going to keep banging out headshots like that, sure, stay on the M4, Forrest. Don't change up. Just do what you're doing because it's working. And mousesports, yeah, they can't help but feel frustrated, especially not being able to, you know, trade effectively in mid. Freiburg, he drew that out so long that Threat was able to get in there and trade frag. It's just nothing really working for mousesports in that round at all, despite a sick no-scope coming in from Nico. There's only so much a man can do.
And I really do love that pop flash. You'd think that would be sort of the common way to peak that middle, but actually a lot of teams will just sort of stand up, and you saw how long Chris was holding that position, so without the pop flash, it could have gone bad.
Well, here we go. We're going to have that full smoke execute coming out here onto the A side. They just want that bomb plant, but again with the counter boosted, Freiburg, he commits this time. He's down, and if he drops Chris J, that's the bomb dropped as well. They are going to be able to snake their way out of here, mousesports. The only problem is they're getting herded into the rest of NIP, who are happy to wait for him. Nico, he's wrapped his way around the quad, so he has the element of surprise. But get right, he's going to pick up behind them, and this is a real problem. Now he can deny the bomb plant, and it's just nothing coming together for mousesports whatsoever.
Finally a kill happening there. Nico going to take down one, but it's just way too late. He's in the back lines here, and yeah, he was never going to get out of that one. So Freiburg to take him out. Good double kill, and I mean almost a triple with that spray in the beginning, right? So 12-8. We're just there's a gap of 4 rounds here. I still think it's possible.
Oh, yes.
But NIP's economy is actually looking very good as well. It's only really Get Right who's suffering. He's got about 1,000 in the bag, but everybody else is 5,000 or more. And that's a big problem. I mean, that means mousesports, they need consecutive rounds. And right now, NIP, they have 5 in a row. mousesports haven't even picked them around here in the second half.
Yeah, no, this is just everything going Nip's way. They have full control of the situation. Once again, they're going to push Threat up aggressive, and really, man, Threat, this takes some bravery. Not 100% confident in his own ability, to get the job done, but he is taking a very volatile position on this map, trying to hold down mid and exist. I mean, that's so frustrating for Nico. Just a random wall bang through on Squeak Door, and he's down to half HP already. And get right, he's just waiting. If Nico opens that door, face full of shrapnel, that's what he's getting. He's gonna get dunked.
Chris, he's in a really good position here, and Auto Sniper versus AWP could be working out, but he's looking the wrong way, and somehow he doesn't actually get tagged there, so Exist may be missing an opportunity to get some easy kills in there. Yeah, right now, having to take a fight with Nico here, and that's dangerous. Even at 50 health, Nico, well, he's obviously the hard carry on this team right now. 5 versus 4. And mousesports with a bit of a lead.
This standoff is insane. Between Chris and Exist, they just keep avoiding each other. It's incredible. Well, now mousesports, 44 seconds left, and it seems like they've done so much work here on the A site. They might be thinking about heading back towards B. Spitty has been holding B halls all this time. He hasn't seen anybody push for info either from NIP. NIP right now are content to just sit and wait. Threat, he's the one peeking out. He's going to spot the man boosted. And that might tell Nip, well, it's all going to have to come down to the individual performance here. And Force is only going to trade 1 for 1. It's all on Fry right now to hold the line.
He's doing a good job so far, but Chris will end up taking him out. And Exist, that Auto Sniper, I mean, even with the money they have, it's too valuable to throw away. Really no point in trying to sort of engage in anything here. If he wanted to, I mean, he's kind of staying close, so maybe just hoping that they make a big mistake. If someone came barreling through this smoke and he could make it a 1v2, maybe it'd be worth it. But I don't think trying to actually clutch this makes a lot of sense. And maybe he could be just a bit of a pest anyway. Gonna end up backing off slowly. And mousesports, do they want to try and challenge? It seems like Nico at least might be interested. Some shots being missed here, and Nico, very aggressive, gets the triple overall and putting himself up at 22 kills. Still leading in the game here. 19 is Get Right, closest player to him.
Yeah, he continues to dominate, man. Exist, not having a huge impact with that Scar 20 in the end. No, not on the A side or on the B side, as we saw. So he decides to go back to that M4. He had just enough money to get the full buy going, so might as well, at this point, just let Forrest go back to the AWP. Would like to see Forrest stay on the M4, to be frank, but if Exist isn't on the Scar, it seems like they have to count on Forrest to actually get the job done with the scoped rifle. Chris J, yeah, no aggressive peeks coming in here from NIP. Instead, NIP went for the aggressive mid-take this time around. Threat and Exist both there, ready and waiting to see if that boost is going to come through here from mousesports. And mousesports have shown that they're not afraid to put Nico up there. So this makes sense from NIP to just see if they can't catch him out.
And mousesports were also worried about the boost, so they put up that Molotov that sort of goes into the wall. So, everyone being a bit paranoid at the moment. Now, a minute and 20 seconds left, and they are executing onto the site here. They're already out by the forklift in the back corner here. Threat in a very dangerous position. He needs back up quick. It's obviously not going to be Exist. He's already down. Sorry, he was forced in the back line here. He gets the 1 kill in. He needs more than that. He will right into Dennis. Threat showing up, but he's going to get dropped after the first trade in. So, Get Right and Freiburg now trying to get in here. Not going to be a bomb line. Get Right being extremely annoying, and he just runs out of the bomb site again. How far is he going to continue to run here in the middle? Speedy, that's an easy kill. I think Get Right trying to throw in sort of a huge flank and run into main, which would have been interesting. But now Freiburg, he is alone and has to clutch this.
And this is a nightmare for Chris because that smoke was up. He doesn't know if somebody else rotated onto the site. Freiburg, he is playing this so passively at this point, just waiting to see if mousesports are going to slip up. But this is allowing for mousesports to get both players onto the bomb site now, and it becomes a nearly impossible situation now for Freiburg to come back and actually pull this off. He does have 1 incendiary to play off of. That smoke going down might help him a little bit as well. Flash is going to be ineffective. And while now it's all about quad, and if he just uses that Molotov, this could be big. It might force Chris J out into the open, and is he going to be in position? No, Speedy! What a shot from him. He just completely counters what Freiburg was trying to attempt there. That was a big kill, and now mousesports, I mean, it was 12-8. Now it happens to be 12-10. Comeback.
And even better, NIP don't have money. So, mousesports are not in as bad of a position as it maybe had seemed earlier, right? There was that really scary streak at the beginning here, and NIP picking up 5 rounds in the second half. Now it's 2 in favor of mousesports. They can continue to build on this. They just got to play this one smartly and not run into any stacks. Not that there seems to be any. There's a nice grenade actually going out. I think there was one earlier that Threat took no damage from for some odd reason, but this one worked quite well.
Yeah, they're really just hard countering Threat's position, playing Sugar Cube like that. And right now, I mean, this is where the nerves are going to start setting in for NIP. They've lost control of the situation. Their economy is gone. mousesports are the ones who are starting to just, take control. And well, now Threat, he does get that peek, at least a little bit of info, but again, this is the problem as well. It's just that, Threat, he can't really hang around to challenge because he just doesn't have that duel capacity. He can't count on himself winning straight up man fights. Instead, he has to rely on some kind of element of surprise to work for him. And when you're playing mid, that's really tough because sometimes it does come down to you just having to be willing to put your head out there and actually take the fight.
And Nico catching Get Right, who was hiding in that corner. So a little bit of relaxation maybe coming into mousesports here. Now they know they're playing against pistols. That's been confirmed, right? They definitely know that. Should give them some opportunity to close out the round here. They've got great mid control as well. Threat turning up and doing some damage there. They need much more at the moment.
Curious to see Freiburg holding close. Forrest with the dig. And Forrest, he does it instantly, but he's not going to be able to get the kill. Instead, Freiburg holding close with the 5-7. He doesn't capitalize on the damage that Forrest had dealt. Exist will take out Speedy as well. So on an eco, they actually managed to pick up 2 kills. But for NIP, they really needed to do more. Just make it like a 1v1 or just to inflict massive damage in that round. Because now mousesports, they are building their economy in turn. They're starting to get to a comfortable spot with Nex and Nico. Dennis not too far behind. Chris J as well. And now it's just all on NIP, and let's see what kind of buy they can actually get going here. They actually have a healthy nade count, so they have that to fall back on. And Forrest, he elects not to go for the AWP. He could have gone for the glass cannon, but instead they're choosing to go with utility here for NIP. Forrest just realizing, I'm hitting shots with the rifle. Why am I going off the rifle? Just let me go back to the M4, and I'll get work done.
Threat a little bit out in the open in the middle. Got to be careful about standing around like that. Trying to see if he could take this shot with Nex. Just snuffs him. That's
what I'm talking about, though.
It's a very good kill.
It's so tough for Threat. It's such a, it's pretty much the hardest position to play on the map. If you're going to be playing mid like that in Threat, you need to be able to hit those headshots. It's so difficult otherwise.
And now look at NIP's setup here. They're playing 2 on A and 2 on B. They got 5 players live on mousesports side. So if mousesports just all claps on one bomb side, we're essentially looking at sort of 2 people having to defend against 5, and the backup's going to be quite far away. That's also why NIP, what they're doing here, makes so much more sense. Try and see if you can't be a little bit more mobile so you can at least get something working out. They're actually crunching in on the middle and trading quick there. Chris with a nice follow-up, taking down Exist. And now Get Right and Freiburg. They're on either side of the map. I much prefer it when I actually think stacking 3 people in mid like that is a very good idea when you're in a position like they just were.
One of them will die, but this could actually work for NIP. In the sense that they're rotating both over to B. mousesports are going A. They can be able to hold on to their guns here, NIP.
Yeah,
that's the big you have to look for the silver lining sometimes. The fact that it's a 2-on-4 situation, likelihood of them, being able to get some mad spray, catching out 3 players from mousesports and turning it around. Highly unlikely.
That's what you'd have to believe if you were NIP. If you left Get Right alone up there, you'd have to think, well, Get Right probably get like a 4 kill here. It is Get Right, but still, I think that would be unreasonable to assume here. Actually, just while the bomb is about to go off here, and obviously mousesports looking for NIP to take these rifles away, Pimp on Twitter was making a pretty good point, saying the next round of European major qualifiers is going to be nuts as hell, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
We're going to have either one of these 2 teams in the qualifier. We're going to have either Virtus Pro or G2 in the qualifiers as well.
Envy.
Envy in the qualifiers, right? So,
and that's not even counting the guys who just couldn't make the cut this time around. Dignitas,
oh, that's a huge kill. Nico, they clean up both the rifles as the time is running out of the bombs going up in that round. I think mousesports have a very, very good shot at pushing us onto a third map here. It's tied, scoreline 12-12. They got utterly annihilated on the first map on Cobblestone. They didn't stand a chance. Nip were out-aiming them individually and massively outplaying them and out-calling them on a tactical level. And it didn't look like it was going to be much better on this half here. I mean, this game started off being 6-2 in favor of NIP on the first half until finally mousesports made it back. And then, obviously, we had a 5-round streak at the beginning of this half in favor of NIP. So a lot of things have just not worked out for NIP, but sorry, from mousesports, and now they're finally back into it here. They're actually making it work.
This is what everybody's been saying, though. It's like they figure out where Threat is playing, and they just hit that position time and time again. And then Nip, they feel like they have to overcompensate for that. And we just got the clear image right there. Freiberg, instead of backing off in vents, he's feeling the pressure, like, I have to make the play. He goes out, Chris J's there waiting for him. Exist comes out on short, Chris J's there waiting for him. It's just... All Mouse have to do is just keep rinsing and repeating this. Apply pressure on mid. Either you get the kill on Threat or you force Nip into an uncomfortable situation that you then play off of on the extremities. But, you know, putting 3 in mid or something like this, right, for NIP. But it's just, it's a really difficult situation right now for NIP because mousesports have just figured out this big glaring, you know, weakness that they have in their defense. And it just sucks for them. It just sucks for Threat because, like, what can you do? You've been playing the game for 2 days before the event. It's supposed to be Pyth, you know, here. It's supposed to be Pyth, this heavy hitter, who's going to be here to, you know, round out the roster for NIP. I mean, yes, Threat we saw on Cobblestone. I mean, brilliant mind when it comes to CS and the strats that he's been able to bring in here. But when it just comes down to that 1v1 capacity, I mean, if Nex keeps getting boosted up, do you really want a 1v1 Nex? The guy's going to rip your head off every time.
But the thing is, they did seem willing earlier on to try and fight that, right? They were willing to put 3 people in the middle. They were willing to go to boosts. It's only really, it seems, when they put Threat alone in there that things go weird, you know? So maybe NIP needs to sort of review that part of the strategy and say, all right, let's play things differently.
Or just start going for, like, hard flashes into A main, you know, trying to find off timings basically to try and get in there and get information, try to catch mousesports setting up. But mousesports right now, if they keep getting control of mid, that's just not allowing Nip to go for many plays. I mean, they could still go for the flash into main and hope they pick somebody off. Or push into B halls. You know, there are options here for NIP, but it's a very, very difficult position for them right now. They have invested in some HEs for this round, so they're hoping to get a dunk, you know, a la Hiko. We'll see if they can actually pull it off.
Get right playing with the scout. Had a little bit of extra money and wanted to see if he couldn't do something for his team. Crazier things have been known to happen, but the grenades have already been expended and they haven't really done any damage. So,
well, they're getting up to the max round bonus. I mean, that's 4 rounds in a row for mousesports, so NIP, it's not that big a deal that Get Right actually spends money on the scout this round because, you know, they'll be getting maxed out in the next one and they'll have a full buy here, NIP. But right now, it's NIP just crossing their fingers and hoping that mousesports are going to make the mistake of walking into this stack on the B site. Freiberg, he's the sacrificial lamb over on the A site.
If you look at how much time they have right now, I don't see why mousesports would do this. They have to at least check middle. If Nico sees that there's nobody middle, why not use that information to see if anyone's A? I mean, they are sort of walking into it here. Getting caught a little bit, but he does some body damage there coming out. Speedy going down low, and Forrest is going to get killed as well. mousesports trading very effectively right now. Speedy getting us second kill another round, and Exist and Freiberg are going to be left. So it looks like mousesports should be able to break it through here. Exist in a great position. They're dropping the bomb, but he can't get the second follow-up. That would have been a little bit interesting. And Freiberg already been revealed up on the high ground.
That's so unfortunate. mousesports just clumping up, so there really wasn't much hope there for Exist to be able to capitalize on it. mousesports not realizing that there was the extra man there on the side as well, so a bit of a glaring mistake made by mousesports, but just superiority and firepower, managing to trade up effectively, all these fundamental things coming into play for mousesports, and they just managed to close out the round. So that was it. They're in the lead now. 13-12 is the score, and NIP, they do go for the full buy, and again, they prioritize the rifles. Forrest, he had the money for an op, but no, he's going back to the M4. Not to, I mean, they are a little light on the incendiaries, but still, good flash count, lots of smokes. Lots of HEs. So Nip, they should have everything they need here in this round. And now, yeah, they choose to rectify things in mid. They push in 3, or push 2 close to mid, but then the second, I mean, they have the third man waiting back in link. So this is how Nip are trying to solve the situation here.
Well,
The only problem is that mousesports, they're ready for it. This time they're like, actually, you know, Nip, we aren't even going to bother with mid. We're going to set up for an A play here eventually. And if you go for a flash into A main, get right, you're going to have a headache for a very short period of time.
Well, I see, they're being very, very defensive right now, mousesports, which is a bit interesting because they're obviously the ones attacking, but you could tell that they've been scared by NIP so far. Get right in a good position. He sees just the shoulder, and he's going to get the one kill, but he can't kill next. It is a good trade, and now Nico coming out, and he's not going to fall for anything there. Exist trying to shoulder peek that angle, but it's not going to be working out. Nico looking for even more here. It's definitely going to be a bomb plant here from mousesports, but the question is, can they also defend it afterwards, and how are they going to be planting? I really don't want them to go for a default here. They need to plant out in the open, but Chris, he's got the bomb with the AWP right now, and he's actually looking for a kill before they even think about going for the plant. That's going to buy a lot of time for NIP. Freiburg sticking up close. It is going to be the default plant. Freiburg going down, and that should be it. Now, NIP have a tough choice to make. If they want to fight, then they could lose this and ultimately almost lose the round here on the half for the game. Instead, it's going to be Thread alone in a 1-on-4. I was wondering if they're going to try and save these rifles. But saving one is not enough for NIP right now. Mousesports very, very close to putting us on overpass.
Yeah, no, this is pretty much in the bag now for mousesports. It's all about going through their motions because Nip are going to be in a force buy in the next round, and from there on out, it should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy for mousesports to get the job done. Threat, he is able to trade effectively. I mean, he gets 2 kills on the exit, but mousesports, you know, money is not a problem for them right now, and so.
And if you look at it,
they're all floating around 10K. So it's like these kills, they're meaningless. It's all about just stopping them short. And Exist is the one that made the difference there. Get right. He could have had the 2 kills, and I feel like there was a time when we would have seen Get Right guaranteed get those 2 kills because he was pretty much the best sprayer in the world. But this kill right here, picking off Exist with Exist not having any impact whatsoever,
yeah,
that's huge for mousesports. That made all the difference.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, it also allows them to get out. You know, they know as soon as they kill Get Right, it's probably not going to be a third man on the side there, so you're almost home free. NIP going for a buy in this round here. They feel like they had just enough money to make that work. It's obviously a very scary situation for the Swedish team as Overpass could, I think, be a scary match for them against a team like mousesports. But we're gonna see if it even goes that far. It's definitely not done yet, and. What I was sort of hoping, and I think what has happened a little bit here, is that Nico has actually finally got help from the rest of his team. Look at how their scores turning out here. We've got 16, 17, 18, 19 on the rest of mousesports, and it's 26 on Nico. So, yes, he is top priority still. He's carrying this team, but finally the rest has shown up, and I think that's what mousesports finally needed.
And now Nip are finally deciding to change things up here. Freiburg and Vents, he's their eyes on mid. They're like, okay, guys, just change it by setting everybody up here on the A site. They do go for a peek into A main just to get some info, but they're playing this so passively, mousesports. They're really not giving much of a chance here for NIP. And I love to see how mousesports are also focusing a lot of their play around Chris J, giving him space to work with that AWP, giving him time to work with it. And now it's just him leading the charge, looking for that first pick that's going to open things up here on this A site. 3 members here for NIP, but the rotation is so far away. They can't just call the cavalry in here easily.
It's a big stack on A right now. These Molotovs are making life really hard for NIP. They can't even stand anywhere, and that's a pretty angle there. Dennis also getting a kill in threat, but a double actually gives it back, and now it is going to be a 2-on-2 here. 15 seconds left as they try and put down this bomb, and this time no one is there for NIP to stop it. Get right. It's already dead. It's threat and forest. They're going to have to try and see if they can bring it back here. Next, playing at the forklift, and he can get running in. He spots one straight headshot. Forrest going to go down. It's all on threat. He's going to have to get the quad kill here, and he can't do it. Chris shutting him down, and that's going to make it map point here. Mousesports at 15-12, and they are finally making this work for themselves.
All the difference in the world. Threat did the best that he could with the 2 kills, but again, mousesports right now, it's just like all of this confidence. They're allowed to just set up and fully execute their strat without any pressure being put on by NIP. NIP, they're just hoping that having that extra man set on the site would make the difference for them, but they just weren't getting the kills until Threat stepped in, and by then it was too late. So just, you know, nothing working for a Nip right now. And Nip.
Well, look at when all those Molotovs are down, there are almost no positions left on the A-bomb side they can stand in. So mousesports just to run in and check those positions. You see how they just sort of, they just turned the corner and were shooting almost as they turned because they know that's the only place you can really be. There aren't that many spots left for you to stand in. So now double push into main for NIP, and obviously they've got to try something. But the thing is, mousesports, they already see it coming. They got Nico, they got Chris, they got everywhere. They've got someone set up, ready for this kind of push.
Yeah, they're ready for it, exactly. If Nip try to go for some kind of desperation play, mousesports. They've got the crossfire waiting right outside of A main, Chris J as well in garage. So if they try to get, in NIP, they could be tempted. They could start feeling like, okay, we're going to have to force things here. This is that game of chicken where it's, who's going to blink first, who's going to hit the brakes. And it certainly isn't going to be mousesports, because right now they have all of the advantage. They have all the edge. 55 seconds left in this half now. Well, in this game.
Could be in this half as well.
mousesports have pretty much got this on lock. And now Chris J can walk right in to get right, and an easy kill for him. And there's just no backing it. They do have Threat in position to try and back up, get right. And he might be able to get the drop on one. Yes, he does take out Nico. That's a big kill. And he takes out two as well. Threat, way more than I was expecting from him. He actually manages to bring it back to a 3-on-3, but there's nobody left on this A site. 25 seconds left, and now mousesports begin to push.
Yeah, you can see this. They sort of made the call, but they're also a little bit wary. They don't want to run into a third man who might have been lurking around, so they didn't just want to charge it. They are getting onto the site here. Some damage being dished out by Freiburg, but the bomb will be going down again. The default plant, which I'm really not a big fan of it, especially when they have the smoke down. This kind of plant could render Speedy useless when it comes to saving the bomb. So we'll see how it's going to be playing out here. Exist, Forest, and Freiburg making their way onto the site. Exist looking for that forklift. Speedy going to get the kill on Exist. That's a strong start. Dennis picking up one, and now Freiburg alone in a 1-on-3, and there it is. mousesports push us onto a third map on Overpass with a 16-12 scoreline. What a comeback here from the team at the end of it. Nico at 27 kills.